You're walking home one rainy night when the sky cracks open and a bolt of lightning hits the metal railing right next to you. You wake up in a hospital bed, completely fine, not even a burn. The doctor tells you that you're the third person in your family to survive a direct lightning strike. A week later, your coworker convinces you to buy a lottery ticket for fun. You win the jackpot. Reporters show up. Someone runs your blood for an unrelated study and discovers you carry a mutation that makes you almost completely immune to one of the deadliest viruses on Earth. At this point, you start wondering if you're dreaming. You're not. So here's the real question. Out of 8 billion people alive right now, what would the luckiest person who has ever existed actually look like? Let's build them piece by piece the same way the universe did, by stacking one impossible coincidence on top of another. We start with something simple, the day they were born. Most people are born on one of 365 days. Our person is born on February 29th, leap day. It only exists once every 4 years, which means only about 1 in 1,461 people share this birthday. Already, before they've done anything at all, our person is starting from a 0.068% chance of existing exactly this way. Now let's give them something the body almost never allows: surviving a direct lightning strike. The odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime are already slim, somewhere around 1 in 15,300 in places with frequent storms. But being struck and surviving without lasting damage is rarer still, since roughly 1 in 10 strikes are fatal. Combine the chance of being struck at all with the chance of walking away from it, and you land on roughly 1 in 170,000. Combining this with their leap day birth, our person now has a 1 in 248 million chance of existing. Next, we give them something written into their blood. In 1996, scientists studying HIV-resistant patients discovered a mutation in a gene called CCR5. People who inherit 2 copies of this mutation, known as CCR5 delta 32, have white blood cells that the virus essentially cannot enter. It's one of the closest things to natural immunity humans possess. The mutation is concentrated in Northern Europe, where about 1% of the population carries 2 copies, but globally, accounting for everyone outside that region, the real number drops closer to 1 in 10,000 people. Our person carries it. Combining this with the previous 2 traits, the odds are now roughly 1 in 2.48 trillion. Now let's give them an internal map most surgeons would never expect. Situs inversus is a condition where a person's internal organs are arranged as a mirror image of the typical body. The heart sits on the right instead of the left. The liver and spleen swap places. Most people with this condition live completely normal, healthy lives without ever knowing, until an X-ray reveals it. It occurs in roughly 1 in 10,000 people. Stack this onto our growing list of traits, and the chance of existing now collapses to about 1 in 24.8 quadrillion. Let's give them an ear for sound that almost nobody is born with. Perfect pitch is the ability to identify or produce any musical note without a reference tone, instantly and accurately, the way most people recognize a color on sight. Unlike relative pitch, which can be trained, true perfect pitch appears to require a rare combination of early musical exposure and genetics, and it shows up in only about 1 in 10,000 people, with even lower rates outside musical families. Our person has it. The probability of existing now sits at roughly 1 in 248 quintillion. And finally, let's give them the jackpot, quite literally. The odds of winning a major lottery jackpot, like a national Powerball-style draw, are about 1 in 292 million. Our person has won one. Combine every trait so far, and the final probability of this one extraordinary person existing, exactly as described, comes out to roughly 1 in 72 sextillion. To put that number in perspective, scientists estimate there are about 7.5 sextillion grains of sand on every beach and desert on Earth combined. Our person is about 10 times rarer than that. You would have to search through 10 entire planets worth of sand, grain by grain, to find one as statistically improbable as them. And here's the strange part. Every single trait we used is real. Real people are born on leap day. Real people survive lightning strikes. Real people carry the CCR5 mutation, live with mirrored organs, hear a note, and instantly know its name, and yes, real people win the lottery. None of these things are fictional. We just rarely see them all collide in one person because the universe almost never rolls the dice that many times in the same direction. But here's what's easy to miss in all of this. The same math that makes this person nearly impossible also applies, in some form, to you. You exist with a specific combination of genes that has never occurred before and statistically may never occur again. You were born into a specific moment in history to specific parents after an unbroken chain of survival stretching back hundreds of thousands of years. Every ancestor in that chain had to live long enough to pass it forward. One war, one illness, one missed encounter anywhere along that line, and you simply wouldn't be here to hear this sentence. So, no, you probably haven't survived a lightning strike or won the lottery. But you already beat odds far longer than 1 in 72 sextillion just by being born at all. The luckiest person who could ever exist is a fun thought experiment. But statistically speaking, every person reading this already is one.